Cornhusker Corners here. Already putting down some money on the ball game here. I've already placed a bet that the Huskers cover the 7-point spread against Minnesota. Greg, do you think we win? Can we get a prediction?
Well, I think yes.
Yes.
We can definitely win. And it'd be nice to see the product that they have going on first before you make a prediction. But going in cold, heck, I'll go ahead and put it out there. Nebraska 27, Minnesota 17. How about
Look
that?
at that.
How about that? Huh?
Look at that.
Huskers start 1-0 out of the gate and licking their chops to go to Boulder the next week.
Nice. Love the prediction. I will say that anytime that the spread hits, now consider this. A touchdown spread is a healthy spread, but at the same time, as long as it's under a score, this could be the closest game in the world, and it could be 24-all with 50 seconds left in the game, and Minnesota scores a game-winning touchdown, and they hit the number. So anytime it's less at a touchdown or less, that's a tough call, of course. But man, the odds say to me that Nebraska is a good pick with 7 points. That's, again, it's not a crazy spread, but it's a little healthy.
I think, obviously fall camp hasn't started yet, but I think that Nebraska's in a really good spot where you're going to see something different. Obviously a new defensive scheme, a new offensive scheme that is more balanced than what we've seen, under the last two head coaches. Because obviously Mike Riley, favored throwing the ball. Scott Frost, same way. Matt Rule knows how to win games. He knows he's got to win in the trenches, and he's got to run the ball. It's got to be like a 50-50 mix. And that's where I thought Mark Whipple really let Nebraska down last year, because he insisted on throwing the ball. And once Mickey Joseph took over the reins, he wanted to run the ball. But you had those two clashing, and Mickey Joseph ended up letting Mark Whipple basically do what he wanted to do. Otherwise, I think last season would have ended up differently. But with what Matt Rule has installed here, and with his coaching staff that he's assembled and has just captured all the players, new and old players, they really believe, they've bought into what his system is. And I just see an overall confidence level that's much higher coming into this season than it's been in probably 4 or 5 years at least. So I'm going off of that, saying that I think Nebraska wins that game outright and really vaults themselves into having possibly a pretty good season, just by starting it out right. Because last year I think the whole thing fell apart after Northwestern mounted a comeback and ended up beating Nebraska in Dublin, and that just set the tone for the rest of the season. I think everybody kind of just gave up after that, and just did not believe in their coach and the system that was installed there. So I'm looking for a big rebound here coming out and starting off strong, because you have 2 back-to-back road games to start the season, obviously Colorado's rebuilding as well, so we really don't know what they're going to look like. But I can tell you this: they're, Nebraska versus Colorado, nobody's taken any plays off in that game. There's no love loss, between those two programs. And obviously Colorado wants to make a big statement, especially if they want to get out of the Pac-12 and try to get back in the Big 12. Who knows what's going on there? But I think Nebraska's just got a great opportunity to start off their season 2-0, and then get a couple easy ones before they get back into the conference schedule. And you know how big it is when you can start off 1-0 with one conference win already in your pocket. Makes a big difference.
Yeah, as I understand, Illinois 2 years ago and Northwestern last year would be able to tell you exactly that.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
I give Nebraska on the road against Minnesota. I give them a 35 to 40% chance of winning, meaning it's almost a neutral site toss up. Minnesota's slight edge. Nebraska's not been losing 8 and 9 games, and teams like Minnesota and Iowa and Wisconsin winning 8 and 9 games because the talent differential's crazy. It's not.
No,
The talent differential is like 0 between these two teams.
absolutely.
This has just been more about Minnesota's been running a really good program under PJ Fleck, and Nebraska's been dysfunctional. Now, if Matt Rule can correct that
Absolutely.
immediately, I have great faith that he's going to correct it eventually. But, this is a bit to ask. I don't think it's a lot to ask. I think for game one.
Also, in my opinion, year in and year out, Nebraska has more talent than, there's probably 4 or 5 teams, at least 4 teams in the Big Ten that always have better talent, but that's about it. So Nebraska, I would always say, is ranked around 5 or 6 in talent level, and they just haven't been able to put it together. And it's coming from a team that has to recruit, all across the country. So and they've always done a pretty good job of bringing in good talent from other states, and so talent's never really been the issue. It's just how you develop that talent and how you use it. And like I said, I have a lot of confidence in Matt Rule that he knows how to use the talent that he has. He's proven that everywhere he's been.